for us to do that. It's kind of like we want to have everyone else's talents. And part of the message that we're sending there to God is like, God, why did you mess this up? Why am I not, NBA material? That doesn't make any sense. It's like saying that God gave us the wrong gifts or something like that. But we all have them, and the problem is that we're on different places in that journey. Some of us are still finding what we're really, really good at, or maybe those 2 or 3 things that we're really good at. We're still finding those things, and when we see someone who's really come into their own, who's really discovered their gifts and who's really using them, we tend to get at times almost jealous of that. So we need to be careful about that, and it's amazing too what that'll do for a relationship, marriage or otherwise. Again, this is applying to all. Like when you can just tell somebody, hey, you're really good at that, good stuff, good job, and just move on. That'll last you with that person. That you guys will, you'll be in good standing with that person for quite some time when you can just be complimentary of what they're good at. Does that make sense? I mean, it's an easy concept now that I say it, but it's like I go home and it's like, or I'm hanging out with friends or whatever, and I have to keep reminding myself about it. But it's a great thing for us to be able to encourage. Proverbs 18:21 says, "The tongue has the power of life and death," and that's so true. The old saying, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Man, it'd be nice if that was true sometimes, but it's not. It's not. And we need to be a part of that change. We need to be a part of that positive speaking. Okay. Here's another one. If you think of something nice, do it. Another seemingly simple-sounding thing that we can do. But guys, I think here's where we get nervous because we tend to see these things as sort of achievements, like the romantic things that we've done. We see them sort of as things that we've conquered, or oh yeah, that was such a great idea I had for my proposal, say, or whatever. And we go through several years and we think of ideas, but it's like, that doesn't even come close to what I did. And so we don't do anything. And some of these things don't worry, some of these things I've definitely heard from older and wiser people, but this is one of them, that it doesn't work that way. Like any thought that we can take for our spouse, any thought that we can put together and do something kind for them, is going to be appreciated. It doesn't have to top the last thing, guys. Okay, it's kind of like this illustration. A dozen roses. I don't know. I actually didn't count those. I think there's 12. But anyway, just assuming there is. 12 points, right? Pretty good deal to the deposit in your love bank. Well, somebody was talking about. Would it be better, ladies? I think this was at our marriage retreat we had several months ago. The speaker asked, ladies, what do you think? A dozen roses or 12 individual roses spread out over time? And it was just obviously the second one. So you can see that's a lot of points. So it's a good deal. And that's really how it works. Yeah, you can move on. Okay. That's really how it works. And the thing is, when we do these nice things, that inspires quality time. When you bring someone a rose, it's not like, oh, cool, and then, okay, now we go back to our corners of the house immediately. I mean, I hope that's not how it works. But it inspires, all of a sudden let's hang out for a little while, let's go for a walk, or let's do whatever. And that's where we start, developing that quality time with each other in our marriages. Mike mentioned a guy by the name of Willard Harley, who's kind of a bit of an expert on the subject, and he talks about, couples should be looking for about 15 hours a week spending in quality time, and that's something to sort of shoot for. I would think that, I haven't done this experiment yet, but I would think that, that would be much easier if for just a couple of bucks a day, $3, whatever, showing how long it's been since I bought roses. All right, moving on to the next point. Another example, Song of Solomon again. And this is in chapter 7. In verse 11 it says, "Come, my lover, let us go to the countryside. Let us spend the night in the villages." It's actually the first mention of a bed and breakfast scripture. Verse 12, it says, "Let us go early to the vineyards to see if the vines have budded. There I will give you my love." Kind of like a picnic. How many of you have gone couples on a picnic before with just the two of you? A few of you? A few of you have? How many, it's been a long time maybe? Or how many if your spouse planned a picnic for you, that would be just pretty exciting, pretty awesome time. All right. Yeah, it's just you're just spending that quality time together. But acts of kindness, those will take us a long way. Again, just like speaking positive things, those acts of kindness will take us a long way in any relationship. In fact, Jesus talks in Matthew 20, and he says, "Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant." And I think it's amazing when you see different situations, when you think about servanthood and how powerful that really is. When we're in this posture of serving, and especially you think about, if you've been in an argument with somebody, or you've had some kind of fight with somebody. Might be there, that anger that might be there. That's huge. Servanthood is really a really powerful thing. And on the flip side, if you've ever won an argument because you were louder or you were angrier or you were more violent, that, I hope you know, that you lost. You totally lost. You gained nothing but bitterness and disrespect from that other person. That is not, winning an argument. It doesn't make any sense when it's won in that way, because what you're doing is you're building walls, thicker between you and that person. And an act of service, an act of kindness of some kind can help to dissolve those things.